So this week I have an antique frame I'm going to redo. Thanks, Aunt Gretchen, by the way. She saw what I was doing with my wizard wall and said she had a frame that I could redo. So hopefully I can fix it. So first I'm taking out the glass and the wire and all the nails because I'm not going to use the glass. I'm going to use this for a canvas. As you can see, it needs a little love. A lot of the pieces have broken off. There's one that's mostly intact, except it has a little thing off to the side that I need to redo. So I'm going to fill all the cracks with clay and let it dry, so then I can make a mold for it later to replace the other three. So I'm going to cover the piece that I need to complete the other one with hot glue and let it dry. So with a little effort it peels off. It took some of the paint off, but I'm okay with that because we're going to repaint it anyway. Here it is with the clay in it and it's drying. So it was a great little test piece. So now I'm just going to remove all the old pieces that are all broken and incomplete. Be careful if you're doing this. I stabbed myself on accident once because it slipped and my hand was positioned wrong, so try to be safe. So right here I'm using a low temp hot glue gun, but I wouldn't recommend it. It doesn't go as fast as I would like and it doesn't get in all the grooves, but this just shows the idea of what you're going to do. You're basically just covering whatever applique piece or whatever it's called with the hot glue, and then you're going to let it dry, and this should get the whole thing. And if you look at the very top left corner, you can see the clay where I attached the little piece that was missing, just so I could complete the whole thing so I can have one full mold for all my other pieces needed. If I remember correctly, it took about 5 hot glue sticks to cover the thing in full, so make sure you have plenty of hot glue when you're doing this. So when you're peeling it, try to be careful, take it off slowly. If you don't want to break whatever you're trying to make a mold of, so just be gentle about it. This is the mold. Yay, I can't believe how good it turned out. This was with the high temp hot glue gun, so it definitely turned out better. So now that you have your mold, you can spray it with olive oil or, Pam or whatever. You want to make sure it's nice and slippery so when you try to get your clay out, it just comes right out. Otherwise it might stick to it and you'll have problems. So I made a mold with the low temp hot glue and it didn't do as well. If you look, it came out all crackly and you can tell where it dried before it fixed to it. But then I used high temp hot glue to make this one, and this is how it turned out. Much better. You can see all the little nooks and crannies. So I definitely recommend using a hot temp glue gun when you're doing this. Okay, here they all are. This last one I'm setting on there so they curve around the frame. That's how this one, it actually matches up pretty nicely. It's curving around it. So when I glue it down, hopefully it'll stay. I'm trying to think if I should do a coat of something over the clay to make it last longer. Maybe epoxy or something. I don't know, I'll figure it out. I actually found out later after these broke off, I had to make another one. So I found the best way to do it is spray the mold, put the clay in, and then take it out right away and then put it on the frame, and it curves even better to the curve of the frame if it sits on there and dries. So I'm using epoxy, half and half, and you stir it for about 2 minutes. So then I'm going to use this epoxy to glue on as well as harden the clay, so hopefully it will last longer. I feel like this might be the best way to attach it. So first I cover the entire back, and then I'm going to go into the nooks and crannies and just cover all of them with the epoxy. after about 2 days of drying, now I can spray paint it. Yay, gold! Thank you so much for watching Sundays We Craft, where I redid this antique frame. It took me about 2 weeks to do this in full. You know, they fell off a couple times, or I didn't mix the resin right, so it took forever to dry in the cold and all that. So there were a lot of speed bumps, but in the end I definitely think it was worth it. I think I restored it to some kind of glory. It's not perfect, but I still love it. So next week, hopefully I'll have the oil painting of my daughter that's going to go in here. Hopefully that will be done to fit in here for my wizard wall. So thank you so much for watching. If you enjoyed, please give it a thumbs up and subscribe so you can see a new fun crafty video that I do every Sunday. Thank you. Have a good day. Bye.